everybody. AJ, the CEO here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Boom, we got the post church production. We haven't done this one in quite a minute, but we're back. So we're gonna be. This is a little bit different. This isn't gonna be. I'm looking at the comments. I already know this is gonna be interesting. We had a very interesting day today. Pretty much what I normally used to do. This is how this whole channel had started, honestly. I would actually start off recording, doing all the editing and stuff like that that I would have to do at church to make our stuff presentable and clean up and a bunch of other stuff like that. And while I'm helping out and then getting ready to go train the media ministry again at Antioch at the end of this month, we're just back in the swing of things. We got to do content. Hey, and it helps me keep my stuff sharp as well too. So I'm here. I'm looking at the comments. I see a bunch of y'all out here. So the flow is not the same. It's pretty much like I'm bringing y'all in. I will try to answer questions, but a lot of it is to show the workflow of me fixing a lot of stuff here. So Mike, how you doing? And you see, I changed the side because of how I'm actually going to be doing stuff here. RK Red Knight Designs, hello from Texas. Anthony, no problem that you missed out, but glad you are here. And I don't know why the pictures are not updating in the comments on VMix Social. It's like it has the exact same picture every single time. So my apologies for that. Let's see. Can we edit that a little bit? And let's change the one that we're using. So if I bring this down, let's bring up a comment again. There we go. So we're going to keep it like this. All right. No problem that you missed it. Glad that you're here. And maybe I should move it down. I moved it so that y'all can see everything that's going on. So who else we got? Darius, how you doing? Come on now. Oh, wow. I just had the mic discussion in trustee meeting yesterday. It is not an option. Y'all will see what I'm talking about. I did record a vlog today of as much. I've tried to do this a couple of times, but then y'all in media ministry, it's hard to record what's going on when I have to also run around and fix stuff. I had a call from New Hope down in Oxford. They were having an issue with Restream. It looks like Restream did an update, and it kind of knocked a couple of people out with the change that they made. I had the same issue at Antioch. The live stream was not going to YouTube, so no one was paying attention because I was doing the sound, training folks on Pro Presenter, fixing the baptismal mic, getting stuff prepped for a military honoree retiree, and balancing the sound on the live stream. So, and then I had a call from Epworth United Methodist, the church that I talked about on Friday, where they had a virus. Their computer shut down. I had to remote in and do some other stuff with that too. So we were just juggling a whole bunch of stuff. Mr. Albert is still in Barcelona. Thank you for dropping in, but you need to go sleep. I know that time is, it's like 5-6 hour difference. And I feel on the tomfoolery. I get everything set up, and then situations come along, buttons are pressed. Yeah, I understand that. And RK, thank you again for clarifying that for me. Brian, you're coming up here in a second. So I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna bring a bunch of y'all in. So I've changed out how my vMix is because we're gonna be doing a lot of over the shoulder type stuff. So we're gonna be leveraging our little camera right over there so we can see what's going on. So let's go ahead and bring up the NDI feed. And it cut my audio out. So hopefully y'all hear me right now. I see my feed. So I need to be mindful of when it cuts my audio off when I cut over to the scene. Otis, what's going on? Brian was saying, greetings all. I had an issue with Restream, although it was limited to the chat function. Yeah, they changed something on the back end. So let me show you real quick. Let's remote in while I am doing this. Bring the screen over here. Let's log in. and I had to get around it because didn't notice what was going on. So Restream was working, but they made a slight little change in there. So if you're using Restream, be mindful. They changed and made two separate. And why is the stream still saying that it's live? What in the world? Yeah, I don't know why it's still saying that it's live. So anyway, what's ended up happening is now they have two separate ones to where it's the studio or the RTMP. They used to be integrated together. Now it's split. So some people had some issues. So they had to go in here and physically click on that one. And that's the main change. And then I did have to link some more channels back to it. You know, it dropped all our channels off of it. Even though I'm using Vimeo for Antioch, I'm probably going to be moving them so that they can do all of this firsthand instead of going through me to do it. So that was the issue that was going on that I noticed. So you might have to go back in there, Restream specifically. I think they also updated your streaming key. At least that's what they did for us, and I noticed it. So be mindful of that. So we up out of here. So what we're doing is going through and editing and trying to fix up a lot of stuff and just give you my thoughts on fixing a couple of things. And I think I removed Antioch's account here from my computer here. So I need to add their account so that I can get back in here. So that I can make these changes and stuff like that. So let me switch back over to here for a second, and I have to remote in. And this is the reason why you set up accounts, do Gmail accounts and all this other stuff. And I have their stuff secured. I have their password, but I'm not the master of all and have everything, and everything is locked down to me. I don't have it set up that way. So give me a half a second because I need to remember what the password was, meaning that I'm going into the computer and getting the password under the Google account on the one at church. So give me a half a second because I definitely don't want to show that. Why is it not here? Ooh. Don't tell me somebody changed it. You appear to have no security keys registered. Oh, okay. So we gotta do some stuff on here. No one has set up anything on this account. So I am a backup to it. The recovery is still to me and all that other stuff. Register a new security key. So again, my apologies. Give me a second. I don't use this. Hold on. I need to add two-factor. See, authentication to this so that I can get in. Add options. Add a phone. I already did that. All right. I'm sorry. Let me add something real quick. Hold on. Let me verify this real quick, and we should be good to go. But while I'm doing this, how was y'all service? If y'all had something on Saturday or you had something today, how did everything go with y'all? I hope everything went well. And I'm seeing the comments over here. I'll get to you in 1 second. I just can't put the stuff out here and show it everywhere. Get one more time to verify this. Wrong number. All righty. Yay, we're back. And here. All right, I should have access to everything now. me cut over. I got to turn the audio right back on again. So give me a second. All right, y'all should be able to hear me. So we're back in here. I am in their account right now. Again, when I left, I actually removed myself completely so that it didn't seem like I was the one with the keys to the kingdom and all this other stuff like that. I got to be mindful of what I show in the background as well too, because some stuff YouTube does not want you to show, and I guess that was one of the things. So let's look at this. Now, first off, like I said, I made a couple of changes in the middle of service because if we look at, and why is my screen so afflicted? As you can see here, and we talked about this, nothing has been being updated inside of this. So as you can see, it just says worship service, worship service, worship service, worship service, worship service, worship service. You don't know what anything is. So as you can see, this is where I started getting back today and making some changes. And I noticed that because nobody else was monitoring the live stream on YouTube, I noticed that it was off. So that's why the live stream is only 29 minutes. So we had to go through and do all of that. So I remoted into my computer, and we ended up making a thumbnail remotely because it was based off of trusting God through troubled times, Psalms 22. I believe that was what it's based off. So I did that to throw something up here so that I can make a thumbnail. That way we can make it stand out. Because if we go back here to the channel, first you need to update the name so that people actually know what the heck it is. As you can see, this one stands out, but see, all of them is worship service, worship service. That's it. And again, I say this to their face, so it's not rude, but it's truth. This is lazy. This is, you're not making this palatable for other people to come back behind and watch your content. This is, oh, you should have been at church. Again, nobody said this. This is how it comes off to me. If you don't want to put any effort into putting the title, what the sermon topic is, anything, that I just consider that lazy. That's just me. And my phone keeps going off, and I'm making sure that my sound is on, so it is. So we're good. Y'all can still hear me. But let me see. While I'm doing this, let's fire away at some stuff real quick. Anthony was saying the same thing. Ty was saying, hey, happy Friday. I'm just trying to watch service this morning on YouTube, and it wasn't available. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Restream made a change, and that stuff was missing, and I didn't catch it until around like 30 minutes before service was over. Yeah, it was, couldn't see. They said the same thing. They were having an issue. I don't think it was YouTube. I don't believe it was. I think it was just something changed in Restream. So, but again, it's good to have these type of conversations to know that you ain't the only one that had an issue. We couldn't stream to live stream because I think something broke from Restream going to YouTube. That's what I believe, because that's what we use. That's what I had set up at Antioch for them to go to Facebook and then to Restream. Because I use Restream to send to YouTube so that somebody doesn't have to manually check into it. And then Facebook with Restream is still free as long as you don't link it to something else. So that was my workaround with that. Mike was saying I need to set up multi-track recording I need to do that too. But then, well, y'all will see. Y'all will see. Otis, man, I'm hope everything worked out. But again, this is the reason why you need to have backup. So I started recording service as well too. So a lot of the gaffes will be able to get around. And then in this type of situation with Otis, had to cut away and you have a backup, you can edit it. This again is a reason. And Spotlight's difference, y'all don't use Restream. But yeah, I don't know if something changed with YouTube. So I don't know. I know Restream changed for them, and that was the notice of the issue. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna jump in here and let me turn my audio. I need to make a button here to turn my audio back on. Give me 1 second. All right, so my audio is here. Almost need to just keep this up. Let me see. I'm going to put this. No, I can't do it that way either because that's going to dominate over top of everything. How am I going to keep this on? Well, if I keep this on and change that to an overlay, hold on. See, we're figuring this stuff out on the fly. So if I keep this up, change this to an overlay. Hold on 1 second. So I had set up everything through vMix for this show for YouTube. So a lot of things I need to change my shortcuts. And again, excuse the mess. All right, hopefully that should make it work better. Now I set this as an overlay, so I shouldn't have to turn my audio off. But let's test and see if it works. So we go here. All right, you should still hear me. Yay, it does work. So I had to do that as a overlay. And why is that camera not working now? Oh, because I need to set it in front. All right, so you're not going to be able to see me because of how I have it set up. So my apologies. So the first thing we're going to do is I have my template set up here, and I really need to have another camera so that y'all can see me. All right, so I had to do it this way. It's in the order. All right, so hopefully I don't turn that off. So we're gonna come in here. This is church post-production, but if I had it to do again, let me actually close this because I think when I turned on my ATEM and it changed my screens and stuff like that, it messed up a lot of stuff. So let me change my resolution real quick. And we're gonna change that to 150. And let's open this up. So while I did this, I dropped all my files for today in my folder here, and that is the 10th. And hoorah, happy birthday, other Marines. It is our birthday today. So yay, Veterans Day is tomorrow. But again, hoorah to my other fellow Marines out there. So where is my screen? There it goes. All right, so we're going to open this up. And you should be able to hear when I play through here. So we're just going to make a new project, and we'll just call this Antioch Rhina. And I'll do the timeline as a date. All right, so I have all my monitors here. So we're going to be able to go through each one of the monitors that I have as an overlay so that y'all can see everything, because I normally use multiple screens when I do my stuff. So if I cut back to here and I cut to this shot, normally this is my setup. So if I go in here into the DaVinci Resolve and go to the edit, this is normally how I edit everything. So we'll cut back to that, but let me show you what we got. We're going to come over here to our left monitor, and we're going to add our resources. So we're going to go to media, and we're going to bring in everything. And I haven't done anything for Antioch in a very, very long time. So we're going to be, as best as possible, make everything from scratch, but I'm not going to do intros and outros. I don't have enough assets to do all that stuff. So we're going to bring this over here. We're going to change that. And now we're going to scrub through how everything looks. So if I take you back here, take that monitor off. As you can see, this is how I'm normally editing. This is my workplace, this is my timeline, and then this is the master of what I see. So if I cut out of here right now, now I'm editing everything. So in here, let's go back over here to my right screen. I am going to drag over the whole video of the recording that we did from service and give it some time, because it's going to go ahead and give me my waveforms and all this other stuff like this. And let's scrub through the whole service. So this is another reason that we had an issue. We had a baptismal, but as you can see, been fighting for years for them to lift these lights up. We can't see the baptism at all, which was a really stinky part. And the front camera, as you can see at an angle, we weren't able to get anything either. So when the baptism happened, this is what you could see. I am in talks with trying to get them to have another camera installed. Honestly, the easier thing is just to move, and y'all can't see it, my bad. Yeah. So right here, the issue is these lights are in the way. You can't see anything. And you know what? Let me go back to one screen. Let me turn off dual screen. I'm going to try and do everything on one screen so that y'all can see. And I can still see the comments as well, too. Yeah, my line is, excuse me as I live here. I see y'all. Let me see. And I'm going to try and answer some of y'all stuff that you have at the same time, too. The prior weeks, we experienced YouTube not getting, let me close that, not getting enough video from vMix. However, we didn't lose a stream. Yeah, that's strange. Vicky, she was there. AJ, we had a person asking for the increase the audit in the solo Taurus song. It was low on Facebook side. Yeah, my bad. Reverend Lightfoot. I mean, was kind of trying to balance some fun stuff going on today. So I noticed that by the time I did see it, I wasn't able to get there. But yeah, that's the importance of having somebody that's listening to the live stream audio, but then somebody that's ingesting the house. And unfortunately, I had to do both today. Mike, why does it? Oh, because it must be using. Oh, okay. I see what's happening. Hold on one second. Let me change this. All right. Every time I kept bringing up a comment, it was closing my my NDI feed because I was using the same one. All right. So let me bring that comment up now. We should be able to do both now. There we go. What tool can I use to verify the format of my downloaded file from Caster so I know that Resolve is importing it properly? I'm not really sure. I mean, what's the format that is downloaded? Is it MP4? What's the file format? Yes, been saying that for 10 years. And really, they just got to lift it up. But again, when you're not in the media and you don't, and like even Pastor Paul, anybody is there, cannot see and get a direct line of sight to anybody in the media because the light's in the way. The choir can't see everything directly because the lights are in the way. The media can't look down on the floor because the lights are in the way. But everybody else who's not in any one of those departments doesn't think we need to adjust the lights. Ain't that fun? All right, so let's cut over here up, and I'm pressing the pedal that gets rid of me. See, I changed all this stuff, and was not prepared for all the fun stuff we got today. But we're gonna work. We're gonna try and make it work. All right, so let's go back over here. I have everything on this screen, outside of the output. So if I cut back over to this shot and here, you see this is how I'm looking, so that way I can keep the comments up. All right. So as you can see, it is super, super loud here. So we got to do some adjustments on this audio mix. And let's play from here because we're editing this so that it makes it more palatable for people to watch. So because of the baptism, all you hear is the piano. So I have it coming in through for y'all, but it is that low. that's didn't get a chance to balance the mics for the baptism. That's the issue. Instruments are not balanced. Instruments. All right, so we're gonna skip forward a bunch of this stuff. All right. See, a lot of this, I must apologize because again, it's hard to try and balance a lot of this stuff all at the same time. So let's go ahead and scrub through here. First, we're gonna jump over to nothing but the sermon. And the sermon starts about right here. Again, I'm letting y'all know right now, it was an interesting sermon today. So if you're easily offended by what you might hear, this might not be the live stream for you. A lot of the sermon was talking about how the election stuff went. So I'm just giving you heads up right now. So let's scroll up through here.
And over again.
So I'm going to rewind a little bit here. All right, so right here is where it's going to stop. I want to get him right before he starts, so we're going to cut this clip right there, and we're going to find out right where he finished preaching. So that was when I brought that banner up there. All right, so that's the call to discipleship. We're going to split it right there. So we're only working on the sermon right now because all the other audio is going to take entirely too long to try and balance out because I fixed a lot of the audio through the service. So about right here is where the audio started getting, I was able to cut over to do the live stream audio mix as well too, which is what you're hearing in the recording. Yeah, and I think... yeah, and see, that's the balance of how a lot of this stuff goes. So a lot of times, you know, like what I really did, I had an earbud in the live stream, and then I had the headphones on my right ear for the house. See, Reverend Lightfoot is here, so I'm trying to be on my best behavior. I really should not have been juggling both of those. Somebody should have stepped up and did one of them, but that wasn't the case. And you know how we do. We do what we have to because we have to. See, Otis, the camera I'm using right now that I'm finishing a review, that is what I wanted to do as well, too. But it's a battle I'm not prepared for fighting right now, trying to explain some of the stuff as well, too. Yes, he is. Yes, he was. Very much so. And a bunch of people did as well, too. We had a bunch of veterans. I didn't get a chance to go down because normally I would yell, "Hoorah," or something like that from the Marines in the back. But they had all the veterans sitting in the front row, and I keep hitting and turning off my camera. My bad. I'm so used to pressing the pedal that turns my comments off, and I'm pressing the wrong one. So my apologies. That's number 4. But yeah, and it's one of those things. So you got to be mindful of that, but it's the same thing. I'm not trying to correct or anything like that. So let's take this section. We're going to make a new timeline, Control N, if you're using DaVinci Resolve. I think it's the same thing with Premiere. And we're going to paste just that clip. So this is nothing but the sermon. All right. So first, I'm going to just use the AI built into DaVinci Resolve. We're going to level out, balance out, and normalize the audio. Normalize it. Boom, it's brought a lot of it down. But as you can see, there's still some cuts that hit because it's just, you see it just perfectly flat. It's getting way too loud in those sections. We might have to turn that down some more. So if we cut in here, and let's play a little bit.
But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They will mount up with wings of an eagle. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint.
All right, so Very simple. So the mindset of here, we're just going to start this off with everything that's going on from a service standpoint. I am going to pull down the thumbnail that I made for the service. And that is actually going to be the intro that I have as well too. So I did make this in Canva. I did the image with Midjourney, and that's what generated it. And then I just added this stuff later. So this is the image that I got. Help stands out a little bit more. I might want to even boost the size of the font a little bit more. And the image is actually bigger than it needs to be. So we're going to crank that up a little bit more so we can see, the chaos in the background, because that's the main thing. And then I'm also putting the date of the service and our handle so that when people see, they'll know. And I mean, the Antioch Varina might be overkill, but again, hey, if I had it to do again, maybe I'd do it differently, but this is the way I'm doing it today. All right, so we're going to download this image. You could find stock footage if you want to. If you're using ChatGPT, you could send a command to that as well too, and it would generate it as well. All right, so now that I got that out the way, let's go ahead and add that image into our stuff here. We're going to start this off right at the beginning. I'm going to grab that image right here, and let's zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to fade in our audio for the completion of that time. I'm going to make it curve in, and then we're going to fade out our slide, our thumbnail for about half a second. So if we come in and start, it goes like, it will look like this.
Blesses us over and over again.
All right. So that fade went a little bit too fast. So I'm just changing it to a full second. So if we go through and go it again.
Blesses us over and over again.
All right. So right here, this is where I'm going, and it normally lower thirds would be added, but I don't believe any were done today. So we're going to add some lower thirds as well too. And I was talking to one of the deacons as well. This is something we need to be mindful of. There are 3 Paul Flowers. So he's Dr. Paul Flower Sr. He has a son that's a junior, and he has a grandson that's the 3rd. So we have to call out the names as well too, because as his son gets older, you don't want this stuff to be confused. Because he could be doing some other stuff in ministry as well too, and you don't want to have 2 Paul Flowers at the same time, and you don't know which you're talking about. Otis, bruh, again, been talking for 10 years about trying to get them lights up. I've been saying for just as long, a separate room, which I do have, but yeah. So I am in complete agreement. Just need to get everybody else to get some buy-in for that. All right, so we're going to do simple lower thirds in here, not something super duper fancy like I normally would. We're just using the stock stuff that comes with DaVinci Resolve. So let's go here, and I'm just going to do lower third, and it's going to pull up all of these. Now, I do have some that are built in to here, so I actually like this one. So I'm going to bring this in, and make sure if you're editing your stuff, you want to add lower thirds to know who is preaching, what the topic is, what's the scripture, because you never know when somebody might jump in the middle of your stuff. And this is honestly really important for your live stream. If somebody just jumps into your live stream whenever you're live, and they may like what's going on, but I'm like, who is that preaching? Flash up the lower third of their name, the scripture, the title frequently, not enough to be annoying, but enough so that people can come in and be like, oh, that's who that is. All right, so we got this here. I'm going to reposition this. So if we play this, see, it goes right there. I'm actually going to move this, and I'm going to move it over here to this corner right there. And be mindful of the podium is white, so that makes it kind of difficult with the placement of it, but be mindful of that. So now we're going to come in here and we're going to call Dr. Paul Flowers Senior. So as you can see, it cuts off. It all depends on the type of lower third that you're using. This one, I have to shrink the text so that it fits. So we got it here. And we're coming out here for a title. Pastor. Antioch. Well, I shouldn't have to do Antioch Baptist Church because we're already on the stream. So let's just do... I don't want to say senior pastor. I mean, because he's just the pastor. Can we do some tracking in here on where we're moving this to? Now, that's the width. I guess that's not bad. So we'll do that. Now, the colors that I did at Antioch, we're still going to stick with those for right now until somebody says any differently. These are just custom colors that I used a long time ago, and they're still kind of the colors. So I'm just going to use that to accentuate that color right there. So I'm going to come, you can't see me, but there's a color bar right behind here that I clicked on to get this color. So I'm going to add the code for that kind of cranberry-ish red. So that's going to be here. So now that we've got that, let's look at the full screen of what this looks like. Let's go back to the beginning. We start here. And this, again, this is important because this video that now is going to be uploaded, and I know Reverend Lightfoot does this as well too. For this is now you're going directly to the sermon. We're still going to go back and add timestamps and all this other stuff to the live stream so that people can go to it. But this is a cutaway of the full recording so you can go directly to just the sermon. All right, so let's play that again. Increasing the audio, fade out.
Blesses us over and over again. And if you're grateful, can we give God another hand clap of praise?
Very nice. Very easy for you to be able to see everything that's going on. Now, let's look at the entirety of this entire thing. So that's where we did our lower third. And we're looking for when he winds down. So as you can see, he's getting real up there in volume, and I can't do anything. And this is kind of like alludes to what Mike was saying. You see where it's flat right there? That's where it's just getting chopped off because it can't go any louder. It's I forgot the technical term, but it's just loud, and it's not. You can't get any louder than that.
Say neighbor, oh neighbor, God got you, and God got me too. Would you give God a hand clap? Say, Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you.
All right. So let's see where it winds down.
Lord, I thank you.
So right here, I'd end this right here. So for me, this is going to be the end of the recording right there. We'll just delete the rest of this. And this is where I would actually have a thank you for watching and all this other stuff, which reminds me, I'm actually going to log in and pull that. I think, actually, do I have it on Canva? Let me go back into the main stuff here. And I need to see, because again, I made all the stuff in Canva for Antioch stuff. So everything from the live stream, everything should be here. And I'm looking just for the thanks for watching type of thing. And if it's not there, we're going to have to remote back into the church and pull down that stuff. Clipping, that was the word. Thank y'all for that. So no, honestly, if I had multi-track recording after the fact, yes, I probably could fix it. But right now, no, I cannot. That's the part that kind of stinks when it comes to doing stuff like this. So we're going to remote in, and I'm going to pull down that image that I have for the thank you. So again, this is one of those things that I think at this point in time, I was actually running around doing something. So if I was more cognizant of listening to the live stream or had some other folks, I would have been able to notice that and turn that down. And plus, you know, I don't know how y'all have people preaching. Some people get excited and it gets a little bit loud. And it's because I haven't been around Pastor Flowers long enough to know his vocal template of how he preaches. Like I know Pastor Sales, he would start off soft, get loud, back down, soft, loud, back down, then start loud. And then Reverend Harris, he would start loud, and then by the end, he'd get soft. So it all depends. But let me go in here. This is I'm logged into here. We're going to look at the live stream, and this is the scene that I'm trying to pull. That image, thanks for watching, and all this other stuff. So where is that? That's under pictures, and that's thanks. I need to pull that down. And where's that at? That's thanks. All right, so there's the image right here. I am using Google Chrome Remote Desktop. I'm going to download that file. And that is going to be the out that goes to what we're using in our edits. So we do that, have it restart. We're back over here. And now let me pull in that image I just downloaded, and boom, there we go. So when we fade out, we're going to transition into this image, and we go from there. And I got y'all's comments. I'm going to cut back over there in a second.
Lord, I thank you.
So right here, this is where I'm going to bring this in. And because of the build, I'm going to let this fade out for about 2 seconds. Now, when you do your in scenes, your in cards for your YouTube videos, that you normally can show that in the last 20 seconds. So the first thing we're going to do, now that I've got that, I want to stretch this out for that entirety of time. So as you can see, let me turn this on so hopefully this will help a little bit better. I am dragging this out, and I'm trying to get to where it says that this is extended for 20 seconds. All right, so that's exactly 20 seconds. And I'm going to put a marker here because this is 20 seconds, but we're going into it at the end. So I guess we could do it this way. Whatever. We'll do it this way. Now, you could do it other things as well, too. I could extend this out so I still have audio in the background because we don't want it to be completely silent, but I want this to fade out. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to turn my highlighter off because I can't see. I'm going to fade the audio out the entirety of when this thanks for watching is coming. So we're going to do a little curve so it logarithmically it will drop the audio. So let's, and we're fading this in. So let's look at this again. Let's go to screen, this one, and let's play it out.
Lord, I thank you. You've been good to me. Lord, I thank you.
As you can see, it's slowly fading out, giving you plenty of time. This scene will also allow me to put up a subscribe button on YouTube. It'll allow me to put different links to different videos as well. So now the audio, I can try and do as much as I possibly can, but since it's clipping, I really can't do much of anything because even if I bring the volume down, the clipping is still there. Clipping is like you just hit a ceiling, you can't go nowhere else. That's why everything looks completely flat compared to like right here where you have a lot of dynamics, ups and downs, but it's not hitting a wall. So these are the things that you need to be mindful of and bring to people's attention that are in ministry that don't know anything about it. Like you don't want to handicap them what they're doing, but you need to, like I say, you need to sit back and tell people to review the tapes themselves. But, you know, so like here, this was more dynamic. And then as you can see, it starts clipping right here. That's when it's starting to get into it. So let's look at the length of this. And while I'm doing this, let's see if anybody has any comments. Ty, thank you. And I don't know why my stuff is cutting out. Oh, because I'm on the wrong screen. That would be the reason why it's cutting out. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so Reverend Lightfoot, no. In the recording, no. We would, if I did multi-track recording, I could go in and individually adjust some levels. But if he's already topping out, anybody's topping out, you don't have anything else you can do outside of that. Now, if it was the multi-track recording, you could throttle it down, but again, he was charged up, and it's kind of hard to bring it down if it's already topping out. You probably could do some corrections to it, but it's still never going to sound as good as it could be if it was done that way. And while I'm doing this, folks, I haven't said anything about it. Please go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos. The like button is how this gets pushed out to more people. So again, really appreciate it. Let's cut back over here while we're editing this. Where's my... Come on now. Boom. There we go. All right. I have camera ops on the main camera. Take off his headset today. You had the main operator take off his headset today because the director was chatting too much about... I had the musicians put their headsets on, and I was talking to them over TalkBack, trying to get them used to that too. Albert, are you going directly to the message as a separate recording or just as a timestamp? No, I'm going to do both. This is going to be the sermon by itself. This is how you make more content out of one thing. We're going to take the entire live stream, put timestamps so you can get to that, but then take the sermon out. Take songs out if you have. If we had better ways, if there was a better recording, because I'm going to do this, even though I might get in trouble. I ain't going to get in trouble. But we had a dedication, but you can't hear nothing because you can't hear because nobody had a microphone. But when you have events like that, say it was baptism, baby dedication, maybe the family wants to just see that, and I don't want to watch the entire service. Like, I still have a recording of Ayana's dedication, and it's nothing but her dedication. And the idea is take your entire content, record the entire service, and then start dicing it up. And then if Pastor Paul was preaching, he actually only preached for 21 minutes. So if it was much longer, I could chop that up into others. Like you can have a series of stuff, because my dad said the mind can take what the butt can withstand. You start preaching over 25 to 30 minutes, you're going to start losing the majority of your people. So how you do it is you edit it, leave it on a cliffhanger that makes people want to listen to the next one, and now they're actively choosing to listen to the next one instead of being held hostage to watch a 45-minute long sermon. It's nothing the matter with that, but the majority of people don't do that. Got to look at the analytics and see that. When are people dropping off? You need to look at that. Don't fool yourself into thinking your church is so great that everybody is watching everything 100% of the time. They don't. Y'all don't do it with my stuff. No one does that. The majority do not. So the idea is you edit and cut where people normally would drop off. If people are dropping off after 7 minutes, end your video in 7 minutes, but leave them on a cliffhanger. So they're like, man, I want to hear the next part. And then that end screen ties to the next part, the continuation of the sermon. That's one part. And just like Mike said, yep, you can't fix it because the data is gone. See, you've been listening. So yes, that's his thing. Lisa Joy, we need help. What do you need help with? Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Otis was saying we set both a compressor and about 3 dB to make up gain and dynamic on Pastor's channel, plus a limiter in stream buses. I'm working on that and for myself, but mine is trying to learn this stuff and add the stuff at the same time. But when I'm trying to do that, I'm trying to train people at the same time to get up to speed, which is already behind where they need to be at. So yes, I completely agree with that. No, I do not do hard cuts. Mine goes and fades right in. I'm going to go back into it. Yes, I do. That was my thought about doing that. And Reverend Lightfoot was saying that's my goal to go to that. Yeah. And see, that's the beauty of doing a lot of this stuff. Like when I was starting, it was like, where do I get content from? You can make content from anything. I take the entire service and you can chop that up. That's the whole point that I'm trying to make, that you can do a lot of this stuff. So let's cut back over to here. So we got this, and that's the entire service, and we can't really do anything about that. I don't know of any AI tool that can actually fix a lot of that stuff, but just like people have said, it's gone. So let's find. So like even right here, he was going through the scripture, but it wasn't brought up. So let's skip forward a little bit.
We thank Deacon Tyree for leading us in our meditation period.
So again, my goal when it comes to audio engineering, if you want to do it for church post production, is I want to have whoever's watching have their volume set at 50 and it doesn't need to change. So in DaVinci Resolve, I really like this. I can click on the audio and I can go to the audio tab and I can do dialogue leveler, and it will bring up options, bring up low levels, or drop them down. So let's see what that did.
You've heard the reading of our text for this morning. I want to read a portion of it in this moment.
So that didn't help as much as I thought it would. So let me turn off. I just want to turn on lift, get rid of noise. I don't need background stuff removed. I just want to bring up soft dialogue. So we're going to crank that up. Let's move that to 4. And I just want to see what that does. All right, and how he's talking.
Meditation period. You've heard the reading of our text.
So it's not doing how I would want. So for me, at this point, this is where I would come in here, and we just have to isolate stuff and see where it's changing at levels. So right about here, it increases in its level. So I am going to split that, and we're going to just crank the volume up the old-fashioned way. We're going to turn it up this way. I know that looks like a bunch, but we'll fix that. So let's listen to it now.
Blesses us over and over again. And if you're grateful, can we give God another hand clap of praise?
I'm surprised how much of the crowd that you can actually hear when there's no crowd mics. So that's just from ambiently choir mics and stuff like that.
We thank Deacon Tyree for leading us in our meditation period.
So a lot better from a sound standpoint. Hey, and Otis, thank you for that. I would greatly appreciate that. So let's skip forward a little bit more.
Word of Oliver Holden, that 19th century hymnist, would all have to agree that we.
All right, so actually, I didn't notice that they did bring it out. So I don't need to bring this in. So I'm going to move this to a different track, and I'll go ahead and disable that. I don't know how often that's being done. Yeah, so it was only done once. So what we're going to do instead is let's look over the entirety. It's 20 minutes. When was that done? When was that lower third brought up? That's the title. All right, so that was brought up at about the 2-minute mark, 1 minute and 52 seconds. So we're going for this. I would put another lower third at least halfway, maybe about right here. And at that's 152. That's about 6 minutes later. We'll do another one about 6 minutes later. And then I think that should probably be enough. So we got through here, and we just gotta, you know, the idea is when you're going through the stuff on in service is to make it as best as possible to remove how much you would have to make changes after the fact. Now, I did record on the soundboard on the X32, but I didn't have it set up for multi-track recording. If I did that, we could do a lot more with this. But this is the simplest way to do this, and we have this set as a separate image. So we're going to come in here, and believe it or not, that's it. That's really it. I'm going to come out here and edit this. We're going to change this to 1080p, and we're just going to call this ABC 11/10/2024. I'm going to have this rendered out on my computer. If I had this linked to Antioch's page, I could put the title and the thumbnail all of here and push it directly there. I don't. So I'm just going to have this set aside and we'll come back. Now, I already know I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but really don't care because it needs to be called out. So if I look over here to the entirety of the service, this is where there was a dedication going on. And this is why you need to show this to people. This is what I'm hearing on the live stream.
Amen.
How many of y'all would watch if that's what it was? Just complete silence. And then we had one more where there was a dedication right here. And then right here, this is where I jumped over. I know everybody doesn't have multiple cameras. We do. But we were honoring somebody. And this is where I jumped over to get the camera because they were congratulating him, but he was just, nobody was looking at him. So use the cameras to leverage this information so that people could see. So when he was honored, it's just straight silence because nobody. That's why, honestly, you have to give people microphones so that you can hear what is going on. Oh, yeah, Mike, none of that is going to be there. When I come back and edit all this stuff, as much as I would want to keep this, we can't, because we have no audio. And this is one of those things that if you're not a part of this, you don't think is that important. But I'm sure his family would have loved to have heard about the dedication. Honestly, I would have thought anybody in the sanctuary would have been able to hear it. But when this I don't know the ranking when it comes to Army, but it looks like it's 3 stripes up and 2 stripes down. So I don't know. I know it's some type of sergeant, but we can't tell what was being said at all. So that's why you have to be very, 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 very good to actually get all of the stuff recorded so that people can hear what's going on. You want it to be fair for everybody else to hear what is going on. So let me turn that off here, and let me go back to some of the stuff that y'all said. Can someone recommend a free tool for multi-track recording for Windows? I need to know that myself. I don't know any of them off the top of my head. Hey, Otis, and thank you. I just got the thing for you. Appreciate it. I was going to say, Steven, thank you for that. I thought Audacity was, but that's what came to mind, but I don't know if that was the case. Albert, do you summarize the message to insert into the description? Yes, actually, I do. So we're going to go back into that. And I'm going to show you, that was just the editing stuff. Now we're going to talk about all the other AI stuff that you can enhance with this. So let's cut back over here. Let me get rid of this because we've done this a couple of times, and I pressed the wrong button. Hold on. That, and I need to bring this camera back to right here. All right, so now that we got this done, DaVinci Resolve does this, not the other one. So I'm gonna come back over here to this timeline, which is nothing but the sermon. And I can come in here and say that I want to do a transcription of everything that's being said. So where is that? I could do the subtitles. I don't want to do it that way. Let me make this into one. No, I can't do it that way either. I'm trying to think, what is the easiest way to do this so that I can get all of this here? I could create subtitles. I don't want to do that. Where's the track? I'm missing it. It's not create subtitles. Well, I know the time it needs to be. So let's actually do it this way. I'm going to go over here to media. Let's find that file, which is the Blackmagic one right here. If we right click on here, we should be able to, and I just did a video about it and I'm drawing a blank. let's do a new timeline. Maybe this will be help me jog my memory. We're gonna bring this down, and now that this is a complete track, where in the world is that? And I'm about ready to go back to my other video and refresh myself on exactly where it was. Because we right click on that, render in place, cache effects. Yeah, so you're saying a bunch of y'all were saying I could use the YouTube one, but I mean it's built into here because we just did a video on it. Well, not just did a video on it. Let me look myself up and let me get a refresher on where that actually is. So, because I mean, but yes, if you don't have that, yes, you could just upload it to YouTube, or you can use an app that will actually allow you to do that. There it is, but where is that part? So I'm trying to find. So I made the clip right there. There it is. I have to do it from that screen. Okay. All right. So let me go back and find where we started that out. So we're going to make a separate video just as a, well, I guess I could edit it and do it. But anyway, we're going to come in here. Let's click on this. Let's find out where that starts. So right here. So that's the beginning. We find the ending. So right here, that's about the ending. So I want to make that a separate clip. I drag it down. There's our new clip. So there we go. So that's the shorter version that's the same as this. So if we come here, right click, there it is, audio transcription. I want to transcribe that. Give it a second. It's going to go ahead and give me everything that I need. And now I'm going to show you the other stuff. So while you're doing this, let me answer a couple of questions. Elise wants to know, how many cameras does Antioch operate? There are 2 PTZs, one PTZ Optics 20X in the back, an SMT AV 20X in the front, and then there's also a Makos. I believe it's Makos. I can't remember. It's one other kind of like static camera. I think it's a Marshall that I did is just for a wide shot. That's it. We used to operate 5 camcorders, but when COVID hit, we lost the amount of people to actually run everything. So we moved to that, and I'm trying to get one more camera so we can get around the lights. So it'll be, right now it's just 2 PTZs, 2 PTZs, 1 static camera, hopefully maybe 3 PTZs in the future. That's what they got. Reaper. Oh, this was suggesting for multi-track recording, Reaper. Okay, I might need to look into that. And let's keep me on. Number 1 can't go. Number 2 can't go. Let me see. All right, I'm going to have to just keep. No, I can't do that number 4 either. Can we do it on number 3? Yeah, we'll do it on number 3. So we should be able to have our chat still come up as well, too. Yeah, so we're getting ready to do that right now. So once everything has been generated, which it has, it is right here, we will be able to play around with that. So we got all of our stuff here. And we could play along with all of this stuff if we wanted to. We're going to download all of this. Let's copy that. Let's open up Notepad. And I can't see Notepad. Hold on. Let's turn off clean view. There we go. So Notepad. And why in the world? That's not what I copied. Copy. That's what I did. All right. So now we got all of this. And I should have opened this up at Notepad++ because I need some more features in here. All right. So we got Notepad++ in here. I've been using this for so long. So we got Notepad++. We got all our text here. So first, what we're going to do a mass get rid of all these blanks here. Get rid of all of that. Replace all. Get rid of all of that. Thank you. I can't see what showed up, but I think that was either a subscription or a new member. But either way, thank you. So we got that done. Let's do that again because I think it's looking for spaces as well too. All right, so we got all of this done. Let's just over and over again. As you can see, we're following along with this. So now we could play along with this. We can use, let's actually do a bunch of these. All right. So we're going to play around with Notebook LM, excuse me. Because this is for the church account. And we're going to create. So we're going to base this off of the text that we just did. Let's save this as a text file. This is going to be desktop. We'll just call it ABC 11/10/2024. And we're going to just copy all of that stuff, paste it in there, insert. Now, I also believe that the scripture will help with this as well too. So let's go back and look at the video, and we're going to look at the entire thing. We're going to look at the entire thing for when the scripture was.
Our scripture for today is Psalm 13.
Oh, Psalms 13. And you see people moving cameras, and I have to stop trying to be, I don't want to come off like I'm trying to be a perfectionist, but it's just some stuff that it's like, let me keep my mouth shut. All right, so the scripture right here, it's like this. We're also going to include this as well too. So I'm going to, let's do the King James Version. And I'm going to add this as a reference as well too to all of this. So we got this here. I'm going to take this link. We're going to also add another source. The source is going to be a website link, which is going to be that scripture. Boom. And just to make sure, we're also going to take this as well and add it as well as some more copied text. So this is what it's going to be based off of. So now, and I'm gonna play around with some other stuff and show you as well too. So that's Notebook LM, and I need to go to my account because I have ChatGPT. And I'm on the wrong one. Hold on. This is when you have too many windows open. All right, I see y'all. I was trying to have a scrolling chat go on, but vMix, to where I know, doesn't just scroll like that automatically. So we're going to come in here and say, please summarize this into a 1-paragraph YouTube video description with a video titled trusting God through troubling times. So we got that, and we could add a text file. Let's do it that way. We're gonna attach a file, and we're gonna attach that whole transcript there. Send it to ChatGPT. Let's see what it comes out. In this video, Trusting God Through Troubling Times, viewers are invited to reflect on life's unavoidable hardships and uncertainties through the lens of faith. Drawing from Psalms 13 and the story of David, the message emphasizes that while struggles and despair may persist, maintaining trust in God can transform fear and exhaustion into renewed strength. I think that is a very, very good intro. So we're going to use that for our description that's going to go into our video. All right. And then because the video is so short, I could do timestamps. I don't think they're really needed based off of that. So now we just did this. We could generate a conversation, but if we want to add some more stuff to their website or something like that, we can do a, I guess I could have done a briefing doc. Let's do a study guide. Let's see what this generates out of this. And while I'm doing this, let me go ahead and make the video here. It should not take that long. So now that we got the video, we're going to go ahead and just render that thing out. And it says it should be done in about 3 minutes. So that's not going to be that big of an issue. So while we're doing that, let's cut back over here and let me turn this other camera off. And let's see if we can, if y'all got any questions while this is rendering, we'll see what we can do to help out you. Let's see what everybody's talking about. Otis, I got an LED sign for that purpose that is a little more subtle. It's working well with the pastor. So let me see what y'all were talking about because I missed that. Otis was saying, Mike, I'm country. They may pay attention to a sign. Yelling gets their attention and gives directive. That's what I normally do. But we had guests in the house, so I ain't want to act up. Hey, that's what the community is for. I'm glad it helped. So let's see. Back to Albert. Did you capture the recording that you were using in DaVinci Resolve from YouTube? No, this was me recording directly coming from the ATEM, which is a hyperdeck, which is how I do my videos as well, too. So it was all recorded on an SD card. This right here. So what's going to Facebook and YouTube is the OBS feed that has the graphics. This is bypasses everything, and all I get is nothing but the cameras as well as Pro Presenter. That's it. That's what comes here. And that's kind of like what I do here. So my ATEM is giving me the raw recording. It does not have any of these graphics that you see on here. So that way I can always come back and move that stuff. Exactly. That's the reason why we had the other camera, to hide that stuff. Terrence, thank you for the subscription. And your homes too. You might be a cousin. So hello, and thank you. So, again, this is the beauty. I'm not trying to be an Intel fanboy, even though Intel stuff has been horrible the last, 5 processors. But let's cut over here to the Computron. And as you can see, we're done in 10 seconds. That entire video. That's why you gotta love AMD. And this Ryzen 9, boom. Our whole video is now done. All right. So now that we got that, let's close this out. And this was the notes that came up. Trusting God Through Troubling Times, a study guide. Answer these questions. What is the central theme of the sermon? This. So I'm going to send this over to Pastor Paul and see what he likes about that. But now that we got this, let's do the other stuff. I need to go back and do timestamps for everything, but the video is dragging on a little too long for me. Let's go ahead and upload that video that we just did with the description that we just did as well too. So we go to E, we go to our renders. That's where I edit it. Upload it. Upload it should be very, very fast here. So now this is the template that I set up a long time ago every time a video is updated. So we're going to fill this information out so we can have some more detail. So that's going to be Reverend Dr. Paul, I forgot his middle name, Flowers Senior. Today's date, 11/10/2024. The scripture was Psalms 13. So now, see, this was for the entire service. We don't need these timestamps, so I'm actually going to get rid of those. We're going to upload our thumbnail that we made. We're going to put this, and I need to make an actual new playlist as well, too. So as you can see, nothing, it doesn't look like nothing was touched since I left. So let's come in here. Reverend Dr. Paul Flowers, pastor. So we got that. I'll add a description later. So now these are going to be filtered in those directions. So if you want to go hear nothing but Pastor Paul Flowers, he's going to have his own playlist. We're going to update that on the front end, and it's going to be a call out for sermons. We got that there. Now let's go to our description that we got from ChatGPT. Let me copy that. That is now going to be here in our description. And I'm going to take out this other hashtag. We're going to do Psalms 13 as a hashtag. And there's our description. And I hate when it keeps adding all this other stuff when I don't want to put it in there. So we got our title here as well, too. Now, remember, we have to, nobody is maybe looking for stuff like this. We need to rephrase this as a question. So that's the sermon. So that's the title, Trusting God Through Troubling Times. Easy way to, let's turn this. How is this answering a question? What's the question? How do I trust God in troubling times? That's the question. That's what we're looking to answer. So we'll just change this to how to trust God through troubling times. You know, or we could just keep it as trusting God through troubling times. Well, let's keep it right here for right now. And the upload is already done. And let's add our end cards. So we're going to add this. And as you can see, once it fades out, and I don't know why it's not showing, but we know the placement of it. So we're going to use, there it goes. So we're going to use this one. And we want to move the video all the way up to the top. So hopefully it doesn't block the thank you for watching, and it doesn't. And let's slide this over and need to update the logo here with the new one here. So there you go. So there's our closing out. So people have a way to click on it to subscribe, and it's going to recommend the best next video for whoever's watching. There is no music here at all, so we shouldn't have any type of copyright claims or no tomfoolery like that. So that part is done. And we'll see how that comes out. And then actually we need to make it public when that's done. And that's what we're going to do. But now let's go back and just look. And I think, does anybody have any other questions? Do you have, let's cut back to here. Do you have any videos about streaming from a GoPro? Back in the day, I did. Any advice about settings I need to change? Well, I need to know what else, what is your GoPro setup? I used to have a GoPro originally. It's still actually in the drawer behind me. But are you natively going from the GoPro, or is the GoPro connected to something else? What's your whole layout of equipment? And then I can better answer that. And back to Mr. Albert. When you said that you were going to pass the summary on to Pastor Paul, is that normal protocol for posting? No, because this is the first time I've done this for them, and this is the first time I've done any of this stuff. Pastor Paul is more engaged with a lot of the tech and things like that. So when I did the AI and the notebook and stuff like that, he is very interested. He read my second book. He's read the other stuff. He's really looking to integrate a lot of the stuff. So for me, this isn't about protocol. This is a first. So this might be setting a protocol, but this is, I don't put anything out unless I am sure of it. Like right now, I can put out the video because that's already been out. We're just chopping it up. Everybody can already see it. But if I'm making new content and this is the first, out of respect, yes, I run it past Pastor Paul and then anybody else. And once it gets to a level of trust, if I was the head of the media or whatever, that trust has been set, they would know that I would sit back and really evaluate what I'm putting out before I put some foolishness out or put anything out. You know, my mindset is, for me, I don't want to put foolishness out. That's why I'm going to edit the live stream and get all that nonsense out, because you want to put your best foot forward. Again, if you're looking on YouTube for something, and my stuff is a little bit different because I'm showing the process of learning, getting it fixed. But if y'all came to my channel and 90% of everything on my videos are me messing up stuff, the audio's not right, this isn't right, then I'm still getting people to tell me my music is too loud from videos from 4 years ago. I can't do nothing about that. But I've learned to improve that over time. But for me, when it comes from a media ministry standpoint, we're the gatekeepers of what goes out. So for me, we're doing our best to put the best foot forward, not lying to people, not manipulating stuff. But if you know you had a gaffe of like Otis, or if I had a situation, if there was a medical emergency, there's no reason for that to go out publicly. So that gets chopped off. If the music is bad, if somebody flubs or does something in service, that's fine if you saw it for the live stream. You don't need to keep that up for posterity for people to watch that over and over again. That's my mindset. Let's see some other ones here. Can I edit worship service on YouTube with recordings using OBS? Yes, that's how I did all my videos from the very beginning before I was using DaVinci Resolve. I recorded everything in OBS, take the file, and at the time I was using Sony Vegas. You can use Movie Maker, you can use iMovie on the Mac, any of your stuff, but yes, you can. And back to the question. The GoPro is connected to ATEM switcher with other cameras, so I plan to use it. Make sure, depending on the GoPro, make sure you turn off dynamic resolution. That's what would give mine an issue, because it kept changing the resolution to keep the best image. Turn that stuff off so that it will stay locked at a resolution that's going to be appropriate for your ATEM. It could be 720p, 1080p, it doesn't matter. But with that setting, it will dynamically, the camera will dynamically pick a resolution that might not be best for the ATEM. Sometimes the ATEM wouldn't see an image at all because the GoPro would drop to a lower resolution that the ATEM just out of the blue. That would be the things I would say. And I already answered that question. Yes, you can. Edit with a recording from OBS. Any other questions from y'all? Let me know, because like I said, we used to do this a lot, and I don't want to drag this on too long because I could do a whole lot of stuff with this. But the thing is, we really want to clean up how everything was looking. So if we go to the church's channel right now, and that was still a drone footage that I did a long time ago. Now, just look at this. That stands out. I mean, this stands out way more. And these were all the videos that we were done before. There's nothing on the front with the live stream at all. So if you wanted to come watch one of our videos, well, one of the videos at Antioch, and you wanted to go to live stream, you would have to go down the third aisle and look up live stream, and then good luck trying to find out which one you're actually looking at, because nothing has changed. If I had some more time, this is one day when I came in there like 4 months ago when we installed the sound system. That's when I did this one. And it's really just going through and making it a lot easier. And see, I need to come in here and change the name of that as well too, but that's the entire service. And it's nothing to matter if you want to keep your live stream like that. Ain't nothing to matter with that. But if you really want people to be on your channel and listen to your stuff more often, you need to make it more palatable for people to want to watch the stuff. And I keep pressing the wrong button to bring up my camera in this at the same time. I need to fix this. So when you're looking at your page, this video jumps out. I'm going to go ahead and share this on their Facebook page so that it can go now directly to the video, not have to jump through the entire service. But again, if we need to, we'll come here to well, it's no point in me doing the live stream here anyway, because the live stream on YouTube wasn't even working. It was only 30 minutes. And the last 30 minutes is when the sound was actually bad. So I'm actually going to come in here and actually delete this one. And I could possibly, after this, since I have the full recording, go make the entire live stream again if they need to watch the entire thing up. So we're going to get rid of that because that's 29 minutes of just not being able to hear people talk. So that's what I did. So I hope y'all got something out of it. We're trying to do as best as we can. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I don't know all the stuff, but the idea is to make this a lot better for your church. Don't just live stream, shut everything off of the church, and we're done. There's always something else you can do. Adding timestamps, using AI tools to summarize everything, to make notes, to have a better description, explaining what's going on, any of that stuff. And that reminds me, let me cut back over here. Let's see what the AI made for our description, our discussion points. Let's see. Let's give it one more again, and then we'll be done. Where we at? Let's see what they talked about.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to this deep dive where we're going to be looking at something pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
So we've got this sermon that was delivered right after the 2024 election.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I didn't put that in, but yeah, that's let's see what else it goes.
And it's paired with this ancient prayer, Psalm 13.
You're asking recommend a free editing software. DaVinci Resolve that I'm using is free. You go to blackmagic.com, blackmagicdesign.com, and DaVinci Resolve that I am using is free. Movie Maker, iMovie, any of those will work as well too. I don't know what your computer you're using. DaVinci Resolve, you do need a little bit of power with that system, but I've had people that used. I think my brother-in-law them is still using it, and they have an older system that I built like maybe 7 years ago. It's the first Ryzen 3 APU, the 2600G or something like that. And they're still able to edit all their stuff with that. So, but again, DaVinci Resolve is completely free. That's what I use. Let's see what else they talk about in this.
Yeah, it's really interesting how this pastor is taking something written thousands of years ago by King David,
Right?
and making it resonate with the anxieties that people are feeling right now.
Yeah, it's like he's saying, hey, we've all been there,
Right.
feeling lost and uncertain. And he draws a direct line from David's words to the very real troubling times, as he calls them, that we're facing.
Yeah. So that exactly, Reverend Lightfoot. That's what I was telling Pastor Paul about, just how awesome, it's a tool and how it can be used. Albert wants to know, before I end the session, would I recap the Restream? I don't know exactly what happened. I think Restream just made a change. So all I did was go in here and just make sure that if you're using your account, that you go back and verify that everything is working. Now I'm back to my other stuff, so I can go back this traditional way. So we just went in here and just made sure that everything was still working appropriately. If it wasn't, I just went in here and just made sure, and I had to just relink some stuff. So inside of here, see, it's still saying this is live. I think they changed it to where you can I don't know. But this is what it was. And so I had to come in here. Oh, our channels were removed. So I had to come back in here, and I didn't have enough time to do it. So I actually manually added the YouTube thing in here. But you would have to come in here and add your channels back into it and stuff like that. So I believe it is that one. So that way, when it goes to do the live stream, it can link back to the stuff. That's pretty much all it was. And I changed. Thank you for the super chat, Ty. I appreciate it. So that's just all it was. It linked that way, and then we had to add the live stream is not enabled. I picked the wrong account. That's the personal account. That's not the channel, because the church's page is an actual brand account. So that would not be that one. It would be this one. I should have noticed with the hyphen Barina. That's the one that's actually the real one that we would link to. So that's all it was. I had to relink the accounts. I don't know if something changed, and that's why I had to go through. Let's see what else we got. Okay, hey, thank you for being there. Otis, we try to find out before service who is preaching, title, and scripture. Yeah, this is where I said this to them. I said, Antioch, I told them, I was like, y'all don't want me back because I'm going to be flipping tables over. Because I think the issue is putting a lot of stuff back in place that have a lot of people have been able to kind of like skirt the rules a little bit. For me, it used to be, I mean, I understand sermons and stuff like that. Normally, first thing is Sunday school starts at 9. I'm actually there at 8:30. There to get this information. I can talk to whoever's preaching, get their title, get their scripture, get everything in place so you have plenty of time to prepare. And then when it comes to church announcements, if you ain't get it to us by Wednesday, close of business, your stuff ain't showing up. I think the next time around, we're going to start probably maybe after I talk to Pastor Paul, see if we can start getting them back into doing video announcements. But that's just the thought about it. Like I said, Reverend Lightfoot, exactly. That's what Pastor Paul was saying when I let him listen to it at first. Yep. Thank you. I did, unless somebody changed something. I did have access to it because, I mean, I was the one that set it up, as well as their Twitter and all that stuff. They should have access to all of that. Let me see. I'm trying to log in right now. Somebody changed the password to it. I don't know who did that, but let me see. I have a second password. Let me see if that will let me in. Yep, I am in. So we update that. And it's sending the code to the church's email, but Reverend Lightfoot, just to show you. Yep, I'm in. And it's sending the email to the media's email. So yes. If you're on the church's computer, you will have access to it. The password is stored in the Google account, so you should be good to go with that. I will get you, next time I see you, I'll give you access to it so that you can post the videos in there. And we didn't even talk about doing vertical videos as well, too. We could easily edit that as well in DaVinci Resolve and other edits to do the streamlined version of that as well. I'm just logging in here to get the email to pull that over. But yeah, we got that. So thank y'all so much. Really appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I'm going to make some changes here so we can make this a little bit easier. Now that I have 3 screens, I'm trying to, what's the best way to be able to record everything so that y'all can see what I'm doing. Because this is how I learned how to video edit, and I want to show what I do. I don't know everything, folks. I'm learning along at the same time, but hopefully the stuff I do know helps improve what y'all are doing. I want to give a big shout out to all my Patreon and YouTube members. If you're a Patreon supporter, and if you like what I'm doing here, that's what I meant to say. If you like what we're doing here, trying to help educate media ministries all over the world, I don't take sponsorships. I don't have any brand deals or any of that stuff. My company and great people like this as Patreon supporters and YouTube members help fund what we do here so that we can train people all over the world. And if you want to be a part of that, it doesn't matter which way you pick, folks. You can go to patreon.com/AJaytheCEO or click the join button down below. No matter which way you pick, folks, you are helping us train media ministries all over the world. And again, a big thank you to all those supporters here. As best as I possibly can, I'm going to see if I can get back into doing these live streams here, because most of the time it was kind of a light day today. I'm joking. There's never a light day. But we got on here, and then I have to, right after this, I got to edit the vlog that I did of everything today, to show kind of like what goes on. So if you really want to know what was going on, just wait for that video to drop. You're gonna have a blast. And again, I try not to be rude, but at the same time, I like to show the truth about how this stuff is, and hopefully educate people in the ministry who have no idea what the media does, what it takes to do that. And yes, Reverend Lightfoot, I am in the account. I just got the email, the verification code that went to the church email, and I am getting in right now. So there we go. We're in the email. I don't know who all these people are. Who is that? But we're here. And the last thing that was done is the thing that I did like 4 years ago. So yeah, you'll have access to it, Reverend Lightfoot. So we should be good to go. All right, folks. So again, I appreciate it. Thank y'all so much for what you're doing. Thank you for all the hard work you're doing. If you had service today or you had one yesterday, I appreciate the fact that you spent time to do that and do this whole church thing all over again with me here on Sunday to see some stuff. Hopefully the little bit I did help, and we'll expand out on some stuff. But again, this channel is driven by y'all. I do this stuff to hopefully be on the forefront of stuff to let you know about what's coming down the pipe, or as a refresher, or if you got new people in the team, you can drop them here over the channel. And for the most part, if you don't have videos that you've made yourself, which I highly recommend that you do anyway, you could drop them on some of the videos. We cover almost all aspects when it comes to media ministry. We're working more on the EQing and stuff because I'm learning that myself, lighting, all this other stuff. Tomorrow, I'm going to be back at TCF hanging a digital wall. Then we have 2 on-sites, one in Petersburg, another one in Victoria. Then we're going to be back in Ashburn Wednesday and Thursday. Then we're going to be heading somewhere else. I don't know. But that's what we got. Again, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thank you so much. And if y'all had any questions, if you have any other questions, you can email me a question at ajhomes.com. Give me 48 to 72 hours to respond. If you're not a part of the Facebook group, because we are having a roundtable today. That's why I said it's busy. We're having a roundtable today discussion at 7 p.m. If you've never been a part of one of them, 7 p.m. Eastern time, if you've never been a part of it, it's people able to take off their armor and talk about the stuff, media ministry stuff, about the ups and downs, the good, the bad, the ugly, all this other stuff. And you got comrades that understand what you're going through, and we're here to lift each other up. So that's going to be here at 7 p.m. Eastern. All the information is on Facebook. If you're not on a Facebook group, go to Facebook, look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy, answer the 3 questions. Don't you dare live stream inside the group. And then that's it. All the information for the live stream is there. If you're a Patreon or YouTube member, I upload those recordings later just for y'all as another thank you as well, too. But I think that's about it. And if nobody's ever told you, thank you for everything that you're doing, folks. So we'll be seeing y'all in the next one. We'll see y'all on Friday for our Q&A, and then maybe another one of these on Sunday. You never know. Anyway, folks, y'all have a good one. Later.